Today, I'm joined by Patricia and Leandra from Sun Life, and they're going to walk us through, particularly Leandra is going to walk us through the offerings of the group benefits plan that CENTUM has recently launched. So our goals for today are to articulate why the launch of this benefit plan is the first of its kind in our industry. And it's a high-level overview of the coverage options and their benefits. So what we're not going to do today is we're not going to get into the weeds on things such as the cost of coverage or specific coverage, or questions like, would I be covered if I have XYZ? Those questions are fantastic, but they are better kept for reaching out to Sun Life directly, so you can have a private conversation, because I mean, when we're talking about coverage, we can start to be asking some very private questions, and I'm sure we don't want those answers or those questions broadcasted. So with all that said, I'm going to hand it over to Leandra. Leandra, thank you.
Thanks, Zoe.
I'm going to jump off video here and I'll start sharing my screen.
Wonderful.
When you're ready.
Sounds good. Thanks, Patricia. So hi, everyone. My name is Leandra Cavils. I'm a service rep here at Sun Life, and I've been involved with the setup of this insurance program for CENTUM members. So as Zoe mentioned, we're kind of just going to go do like a high level overview of the program. We're going to talk a bit about the different insurance benefits that you can apply for. I'll talk about the application process and go into some member tools and support. And then we can take time for some questions if there are any. So let's dive into the summary here. So as a CENTUM member, you now have access to a range of insurance benefits. These benefits are life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment, long-term disability, critical illness, extended healthcare and dental, and professional overhead expense insurance. So these are available to CENTUM members that are in good standing with CENTUM, living in Canada, and actively working a minimum of 25 hours a week. Those are just a few eligibility criteria. You'll just see them throughout the rest of the presentation. And when applying, you might see or hear this evidence of good health. And so that just means that you'll have to provide proof of good health for some products through a medical questionnaire on the application form. And if you're applying for LTD, long-term disability insurance, you'll also be asked some financial or employment questions.
So I just want to jump in here, Leandra, if that's okay. And I just want to just touch on, if we can go back to the previous slide, I want to touch on why this is a groundbreaking policy in our industry. And that's because not every member so traditionally speaking, when there is an insurance policy, a extended health benefits policy, everybody in your office needs to participate. But with this one, this is not the case. If 3 people in your office participate, wonderful. If 1 person, wonderful. If everybody, even better. So this is not a policy or a program that requires full participation from everyone in your office. And it's also a policy, and I might be stealing your thunder here, Leandra, but my apologies. It's also a policy that's direct to consumer. So it's a relationship between yourself and Sun Life. No relationship. There's your broker of record, your whomever in your office has no contact with any of the claims or any of your medical information. And this is really, really unique, where you have this essentially this direct relationship with Sun Life, and a very private sort of relationship with Sun Life.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Zoe. So let's we'll take a look a bit more about the different benefits. So one of the options that you could apply for is life insurance. And so the eligibility criteria, I touched on that just a little bit before. How much you could apply for. So a member or spouse could apply for $50,000 to $1 million. There's also the option to have coverage for dependent children. And there's also a, with this life insurance, there's what's called waiver of premium. So if you were to be totally disabled for 6 months before the age of 65, your coverage will continue without having to pay premium. Yeah, so okay, accidental death and dismemberment. Similar eligibility criteria. One thing to point out for this coverage, you must have life insurance to be eligible for this benefit here. And how this works is if the claim is approved, there would be a lump sum payment for you or your covered family member who suffers a serious injury due to an accident. And so the amount that you could apply for is anywhere from $25,000 to $250,000. And the amount could not exceed the amount of your life insurance. So long-term disability is another benefit that you have the option of applying for. The eligibility criteria, again, not to sound like a broken record, and then the amount that you could apply for is anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, and you can choose either a 30, 90, or 180-day elimination period. And that period is essentially the amount of time that would need to pass before a benefit payment could be made.
And Leandra, is that $1,000 to $5,000 per month payment?
Monthly, yes.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. And so this coverage helps if you have a mortgage to pay, if your family couldn't manage without your income, or maybe a single parent. This would just help with that. Okay, so professional overhead expense insurance. So for this one, you must have a long-term disability to be eligible for this coverage. So this one kind of goes with the LTD coverage. And again, this is great for to help with some expenses were you to become disabled. So it could help with some expenses such as rent or mortgage interest, salaries of employees, fixed expenses of running an office, things like that. So the benefit amount is $500 to $5,000 monthly.
So this one is quite unique to the industry, my understanding, Leandra, and I know that so when Adrian was speaking with you and in discussions with Sun Life about the policy that we would be offering to our members, there are those traditional dental, accidental AD&D, and then just your health benefits. But we decided that we wanted to tailor this program a little bit more specifically to that self-employed person. And that's why we chose to offer this, the professional overhead expense insurance. And I think that it's really, really interesting because the covered expenses of your salaries for an employee, taxes on your business, anything, like it sounds like anything sort of pertaining to your business, is that peace of mind. If you're a self-employed person and you have a number of people underneath you and they're your employees, when you get sick or if you get injured, not only do you have the stress of what is it going to look like for you, you have the stress of, well, what is it going to look like for my employees? Because there's that, flow on effect. So this is something that I'm really proud that we are able to offer, because it's really offering that peace of mind, in that extended circle when you are, say, a broker owner, or maybe you have, an assistant. So I'm really, really proud that we have this, and it's something that I think is really, really interesting to myself, but to those people who are in that self-employed space.
Good point, Zoe.
Thanks, Patricia. Radio silence. I love it. Sorry, Leandra, you go.
All good. So critical illness insurance is another benefit that you could apply for. And so this would provide a lump sum payment if you're diagnosed with one of the covered illnesses. And what's great about this is that you can, use this money really in any way you want. You can help, it could help cover daily expenses, pay for alternative treatments, or allow a loved one to have time off with you. So the amount that you could apply for is anywhere from $25,000 to $250,000. And finally, the health and dental insurance. So there's 5 options for health and dental: your basic, standard, standard plus, enhanced, and enhanced plus. So the options with like plus on it, those would include dental. And you cannot apply for just dental alone. You must have EHC as well. So it'd be one of those options with plus if you're interested in dental. So that's pretty much it for the benefits. That was really just like a high level overview of them. I'm going to now take you through kind of the application process and how to apply. So the application is available online at sunlife.ca/centum. You'll just be able to download the application, complete it, and mail it in to us. There could be additional information that's needed, and if so, you would get a letter. And then once approved, you'll also receive a welcome package that would detail all of the information, what you've been approved for, things like that.
Awesome. And so just to go back on the offerings, am I correct in my understanding, Leandra, that there are six specific types of insurance that we're offering in this package?
Yes.
Fantastic. And so some of them have to go hand in hand, correct?
Yes.
Great. And so an example would be the professional overhead and long-term disability.
Exactly.
And then health and then dental.
Yep.
So when you're looking at the brochure, it will cover off what needs to go hand in hand. So that's just something to keep in mind, that it is a la carte, but there are some minimum requirements for you to, if you want that professional overhead, which is phenomenal, you do need to take that long-term disability. Now I'm getting a question from Tanya. Can the professional overhead be added after registering for the plan? If we don't take it now, can we add it later? So that's a great question. I guess, like, as things grow, as businesses change, is this something that can be added, or does it have to be done immediately?
Yep. If you've got LTD and then, 6 months, a year down the road, the professional overhead now seems like it would be a good fit. As long as you've got your LTD coverage, you could apply for it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Great question. Thank you. Sorry, Leandra, I keep cutting in.
That's great. All good. So that was really the application process there. I'll just take you through a few tools and support. So I mentioned the website sunlife.ca/centum. So this is a great website. It's got tons of information on the plan. It goes into a lot more detail than what I've just provided. There's the different insurance products. You can do more deep dive yourself. You've got the option to take a look at the brochure. That's got everything laid out for you. There's nice charts to kind of just make it all clear for you. That's where you'll get the application form. It's simple to just download it, complete it. And then there's also a customer support page on this website, and that has important contact information for any questions you may have. So Zoe kind of mentioned at the beginning about how this is like direct from yourself to Sun Life, and so if you do have those specific questions, you would want to contact Sun Life, and that information is all on that customer support page.
Wonderful. And so, just because when we were first launching this, I kind of was having a bit of a brain block, and then I remembered that this is just like if you were an employee, say you worked for I'll use an example because I know them well, MCAP. You're an employee at MCAP, you're going to get extended health, you're going to get these extended benefits. So this is essentially those offerings. But now, because you're in this individual contractor space, traditionally they're not available. So it's all of those things that you would have been used to when you were an employee at some point, all of those coverages, that sort of those experiences, that's what you're going to see, and that's what you're going to get with an additional, the professional overhead, some additional things that we've added to specifically tailor this policy to our audience or to our family members. But that's probably one of those things that I was like, I was having a bit of a hard time connecting the dots. And then I just remembered, oh, it's like you're an employee somewhere and these are the offerings that you're going to get. So that kind of means that, if you have an emergency and you're in another country, yes, there's going to be emergency things taken care of you, but you can't be going and getting a massage in like the Bahamas and expecting you can expense it, just like you can't do that with when you're an employee. So that's something that I was struggling with, but once I connected those dots, I was like, oh, it makes a lot of sense. So it's a really, really nice and unique offering. I know that there are some professional organizations that have professional associations rather that have similar sort of offerings. But my understanding is they require the whole office to participate. Whereas this is, as I was saying, and I just kind of want to drive this home because it is so unique. This does not require everybody in your office to participate. So if you're interested, if you have questions, please reach out to Sun Life because it's peace of mind. And we have no idea what's going to happen. And health is one of these things that it's the most important thing, right? Being healthy is the most important thing. And, we only, once if our health is suffering, we need to really focus on that and improve it because it's integral to life. So anything else you want to add, Leandra, before I continue to steal this from you?
It, but it's the peace of mind that you've mentioned, right? So yeah, exactly.
Does anybody have any questions about what we've gone over?
There's another question in the chat. I don't want to open it, but
it just says BRB.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Does anybody have any questions about what we've covered? Any feedback? Anybody feeling adventurous on a Thursday? Today is not Thursday. Today is Tuesday. Oof. Yeah. Well, if nobody has any questions, there's the website is www.sunlife.ca/Centum. Ton of information there. And you can phone Sun Life Direct with questions as well.
Yep, exactly. Just a few more slides, just give you guys a bit more information as well. So,
awesome.
Once coverage is approved, another good tool is creating a My Sun Life account. And so that can be done by either downloading the Sun Life mobile app or just going to mysunlife.ca on a desktop computer, laptop. So once you create your account, you've got access, if you're on your phone, literally in the palm of your hands, you've got access to view your coverage details, submit your claims online. You don't have to submit an actual claim form. It's just all can be done in the palm of your hand. You've got access to your coverage card, which you could show at the pharmacy, and your pharmacist will then be able to send us your claim. Sun Life will pay the amount directly to your pharmacy, and you'd only have to potentially pay, the balance. So it's reducing any out-of-pocket expenses. So lots of great things with the app. And yes, our client care center. So I mentioned on the website, there was that customer support page. So here's just a little bit more detail on how our client care center can help. So if you're looking for more information before applying, if you've submitted your application, but maybe you've got a question, if you've got a question about your in-force coverage, or maybe you want to make a change, or a question about a claim or a claims process, those are all things that our client care center can help with. There are different numbers depending on what it could be. So just a general versus a claim inquiry. But this information, these phone numbers are on the sunlife.ca/Centum website. So no worries to scramble these numbers down. They are out there for you. Yeah, so that brings us to the end. Happy to take any questions.
No, we're silent. That's okay. If anybody thinks of anything, you're more than welcome to reach out to myself or Sun Life Direct. But yeah, I mean, short and sweet, we just wanted to articulate why this is so special. And again, I'm super proud that we are offering this, and thank you, Sun Life, for working with us. And thank you, Leandra and Patricia, for joining us today. And I will let everybody go. Short and sweet. It's how we like it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
You.
Take care.
care.
Have a great
Bye.
week. Bye.
Bye-bye.